everyone, Zero JD here with the XP Fans channel, and I'm here to give you a quick taste of Remothered Tormented Fathers. It's a very much a horror stealth kind of game with a very interesting story where it kind of started out where like my character here comes in to talk to a gentleman who apparently lives with his wife, and they have a maid or a servant kind of person to try to locate and figure out what happened to his missing adopted daughter. Without spoilers, the conversation goes south, and your character decides to sneak in, and craziness ensues. So I don't really want to spoil too much of the story. The story actually is the best part of this game so far. It has some severe issues with the sort of stealth mechanic, defense mechanic, and a lot of suspending your disbelief kind of stuff. And you'll notice it. The sound mixing in this game is pretty terrible. A lot of times in stealth games, you're very much listening for where people are, or the horror games, just so you know where they are. This game, the building you're in has 3 levels. Yes, the basement, first floor, and second floor. And a lot of the times you can be on the first floor, and it can sound like the person is literally right behind you, but they are in the same spot where you are, but above you. Doors on a separate floor sound like they're opening right next to you, kind of thing. So you have the standard thing where you can, you have a light, turn it on, off, you can run, you can crouch, and one of my biggest issues with it, she's wearing high heels and a miniskirt. She has not taken off the high heels or ripped that miniskirt yet. So far, a lot of the game has been going around searching for certain items, doing small tasks like, hey, I found a clock key, I used it to open up the clock and get a battery, which I can then use to... All right, so so this is actually perfect. So I didn't need an item to open up the hidden place in the fireplace I just came through, but I got a battery for a automatic ladder, which I then allowed me to get up to an oil can, which I'm going to now use on the wheels most likely. And it's been a lot of that you're picking. It got a lot of adventure game kind of thing that you need this item to get this item to get this item to progress the story kind of thing. So far, I haven't encountered any items that are optional, but we'll go through here. If we see any cutscenes, I'll play it out. So just be ready for spoilers kind of thing. If you're interested in this game, it's okay. The story is the best part of it. I had my own theory at first that my character here, who kind of looks like Jodie Foster or Captain Janeway, Jodie Foster is Agent Scully from X-Files, that she was actually the biological mother of this girl, Celeste, and came to try to track her down. But apparently Celeste ran away from this family, came back as Jennifer, craziness happened, the father killed her, and then there's red nuns. So let's just go. Sometimes it's weird to... So I need something to open a gap. So this is what a lot of this has been, kind of sneaking around, trying to find stuff. But it looks like this might be my final solution here of maneuvering myself so I can actually... There it is. But there have been times where like, oh, I can't open this grate, so I need to go get a wire, then attach it to this dumbwaiter, and go to the second floor and hit the button. But then the power went out, so I then had to turn the power back on and then go all the way back downstairs to get the clock key, to open up the clock, to get the battery, to then play a projector, which then leads me through a series of events that makes me have to go to an attic, then gets the battery. And it's a lot of that and running around, really weird story beats. But when we get to the story, it's really good, really interesting. A lot of it is like there's also trying to like circumvent the AI, which I swear will teleport around and find you. You run just about as fast as the AI, so if they're right on your heels, it's very hard to get away from them. Another thing about the disbelief is I had a kitchen cleaver at one point that when a person grabs you, if you hit them with this cleaver, that person's dead. But instead, my character, for some reason, jammed it into them. But as you saw there, I had a diversion item. There are a lot of items where you kind of like, hey, you have this doll, where you place it, it'll make a sound, the person will come over. Or I have this item I can throw to make sound kind of thing. So it's that kind of stuff. I found that a lot of the time the best solution is to just run around, get their attention, go through a door, hold it closed so they go away, and then kind of just go around through there. Go around and be like, hey, now I've circumvented them, get around the corner for just long enough to activate this cutscene that may make them disappear. So apparently this was Celeste's room, from what I understand. So this apparently, it sounds like she was murdered by her father. I haven't been able to put this the story together, but it's not one of those like incoherent stories. It's one of those stories that you put together, you kind of make your own story in your mind, which is really fun. So let's kind of poke around here. There's a lot of drawers you open. Most of the time they have distraction items or just straight up weapons in them. You can hide in these things. There is a mini game to stay hidden when they come to find you. It's the right stick, which is kind of weird mostly because they never tell you that. So the first few times I failed that, I actually had to ask someone how to do it. And then there's parts where like, hey, I had an item. I didn't know I had to use the item on a door, because I remember playing the old Resident Evil games where you didn't have to do that. That's really weird. My character's a little haggard right now. Doesn't she look like Janeway or something like that? And this is how the story's been told, through like cutscenes and stuff like that.
God only knows why I returned. I did miss them.
So I think this is Jennifer,
Them again.
from her point of view.
At least to know who I am and why I'm Jennifer. We're not allowed to go out. He put bars on the doors and windows. It seems like Dad doesn't recognize me. He had me sit down for...
So we're gonna not spoil anything right now. Oh God. So a lot of weird stuff is happening when this music or this song happens. So it almost, and like there's allusions to like drugging and then making them sit in front of a metronome. So it may be conditioning. Also moths. But it is kind of fun, and I'm making up my own story in my head now. It's like, after that kind of thing, I'm thinking that that there's a lot of weird stuff going on with this particular song, because at the very beginning, when this woman who's telling the story wants to remember, he plays this music. She plays this music that's here.
Please stop it.
It's a really good sound. So maybe it's just some weird conditioning stuff. All right, so this is very much started to go. It's come back to a very psychological horror kind of thing. So this has gotten really good, really fast. I don't know if that's a death condition or something like that. So that was death, but hopefully that's actually enough to get you interested. This was Remothered Fathers Torment. I actually think that was a perfect place for a video. Like, the annoying stealth mechanics and stuff like that are avoidable. I would suggest just kind of running around and passing up stuff and kind of stuff like that. But I'm happy I got to show you what I find the most interesting about the game is the story and all that kind of stuff. I am Zero JD. This is the XBlade Fans channel. Thank you so much for watching. This was Remothered Fathers Torment. I have my own story in my head that I want to I might keep playing this just to see where it goes kind of thing. Thank you so much for joining me. Check out our other videos and have a nice day.